First and foremost, before I get to the topic here, thank you. I surpassed 1 million subscribers on Saturday night, late Saturday night. And I just want to say thank you. I am so lucky. I am blessed beyond measure. Pick your descriptor here. There are a whole bunch of people out there who are more worthy, who are smarter, who are better looking, who are more articulate, who can communicate better. But for some reason, I got lucky. And I do not take that the charge lightly. I do not take the responsibility lightly that I believe I have to try to make our world a better place. And it's with your continued support that I'm going to be able to do that. So thanks a lot. Later, I'm going to do either a live stream or just a scripted video where I can really get my thoughts that aren't extemporaneous out there. But in the meantime, I just wanted to say thanks so much. So yesterday, Donald Trump was on the tarmac getting ready to go to the Daytona 500 or whatever, where they had an Air Force One flyover, and he lapped with the beast, the Cadillac, the armored vehicle that the president travels in. They're all about government efficiency, but, who cares about wasting all the money? Remember, Obama golfed too much, but Donald Trump's golfing isn't a problem, apparently. Great. Well, anyway, he made a statement about, when asked about the rising cost of eggs in this country. And he said something really ridiculous, which is, well, it's the flu. He's trying to pass off why the eggs are at historic highs right now. In some places like $10 or $12 a dozen, like insane egg prices. And look, I said this last week, I'll continue to say it. There's a lot of disparate market forces at play here with the bird flu and all these other things that come into play that aren't Donald Trump's fault. But if they're not Donald Trump's fault, they also weren't Joe Biden's fault. And rather than just give an answer that is intelligent and forward-looking and looking at a 30,000-foot view from an economic standpoint of what's taking place and just say, yeah, look, things are we're battling it, we're fighting it. Donald Trump just wants to say, oh, it's not my fault. It's somebody else's fault. He wants to point the finger, because he's a dipshit. But before I do that, I want to share with you two separate clips. One was him after the election talking about why he won. I won on groceries. This one simple word. I won on groceries. And still promising to bring down the prices. And then the second clip I'm going to share with you is from October 10th of last year, before he was elected, where he's just guaranteeing the world it's going to happen very quickly that we're going to bring prices down. And now that not only prices are not going down, they're actually increasing exponentially almost. It's crickets from the Republican Party, even though all of these things were promised to take place. First, very brief clip from him on NBC talking about why he won. And it was because not only the border, but mainly, he says, because of groceries.
I won on two things, the border and more than immigration. They like to say immigration. I break it down more to the border, but I won on the border and I won on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries. When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on that. We're going to bring those prices way down.
I want to pause here because
we're going to bring those prices way down. Who uses the word? I started using the word. Like he invented the word groceries or the common use of the word groceries. And we're going to bring those prices way down, he promised. This is after he won. Again, here he is, October 10th at the Detroit Economic Club, also talking about what his promises are, these wild promises about bringing down the prices. And he goes off on this weird soliloquy about the word groceries, a simple word. It means what you eat. The stomach doesn't lie, or whatever idiot thing that just fell out of Donald Trump's head and mouth at the same time. Watch this.
One of my top priorities will be to quickly defeat inflation and make America affordable again. We will quickly defeat it. We have to bring down prices. I will cut taxes, slash regulations, curb wasteful spending, and unleash energy production. It'll all happen very quickly. This will rapidly drive prices down, lower interest rates, and put more money into the pockets of American consumers. It'll also bring your grocery bill way down. I have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything you eat. The stomach is speaking. It always does. And I have more complaints about that, bacon and things going up, double, triple, quadruple. As part of this effort, I will pass major tax cuts for workers, including no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors.
For your edification, by the way, those last things he mentioned, I included that in the clip here because they just released the tax plan, the prospective tax plan. And guess what wasn't in there? Tax on tips, tax on overtime, tax on Social Security. That wasn't in there. But the tax for the top fraction of a percent of wage earners in this country, of the wealthiest in our country, they're getting trillions of dollars in tax cuts that'll have to be paid for somewhere else. They're going to have to make up the difference in that lost revenue, and they're going to do it through tax increases on the middle class and also these stupid tariffs that will also be paid for by the American people. But you heard him say it. It'll all happen very quickly. This will rapidly drive down prices. Well, you've been in office, Donald Trump, for a while now, weeks, in fact. You promised in many other clips that you'd do this one your first day. Within 24 hours, you're going to be ending wars and driving down the prices. And the word groceries is a beautiful word. That's not happening. In fact, prices are increasing. I've said before, I'll continue to repeat, you don't get it both ways. If you're the cause of good times relative to prices, then when they rise, you're the blame. If it's your doing that the stock market is doing gangbusters, when it fails, it's your fault too. You don't get all the good and then none of the bad as you try to shift blame onto Joe Biden, which is what you're going to witness what took place yesterday on the tarmac with him screaming into the camera because there's too much air noise. Watch this.
Prices have reached an all-time high. What's your administration? Egg prices have reached an all-time high.
It was a long, before I ever got here, it was at an all-time. This didn't, remember, I've been here for 3 weeks. And when you saw the inflation numbers, I've been here for 3 weeks. I have had nothing to do with inflation. This was caused by Biden. I had 4 years of virtually no inflation. So I'm just taking over. But I'll tell you what, this country has made more progress in the last 3 weeks than it's made in the last 4 years, and we're respected again as a country. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I love that, right? Look, you got to remember, I've only been here for 3 weeks. Yeah, but you promised that on day one you were going to be able to accomplish. We've accomplished more in 3 weeks than anybody ever. Yeah, but you promised you would do a thing, and you lied about doing that thing because that thing has not been accomplished. But MAGA doesn't care. The MAGA pukes love Donald Trump because he's the cult leader, and they don't objectively look at the things that he has said and promised and then hold him to account for those things. Well, it's the flu, but it was also the flu during Biden, yet that was Biden's fault. So it's just shift blame. There's no accountability. There's no responsibility. This isn't leadership. This is childlike behavior. This is immaturity. This is insecurity. This is stupidity. It's insanity, is what it is. This was caused by Biden. I had 4 years of virtually no inflation. What are you talking about? No, we're talking about right now. Donald Trump wants to look to the future, was constantly looking back in his rearview mirror at his prior administration. You don't get credit for the shit you did or didn't do the first time. We're living in today, brother. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me as always, daily@dollemore.com. If you want to help support this work, produce this work, help me reach the millions of people I do on a monthly basis, You can do so by clicking the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I'm going to go. If you're on social media and you want to have a miserable time on social media with me, I am at Dollemore just about everywhere, mainly on Blue Sky, but elsewhere too. I'd love to see you there at Dollemore. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.